Another witness will cooperate. I'm Roger Stern, Fox News. The 7-day FBI investigation is underway into sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, and the attorney for Deborah Ramirez says she has been contacted by agents and will cooperate. Ramirez is the Yale classmate who says Kavanaugh exposed himself in front of her during a party. The White House ordered the new FBI investigation at the insistence of Arizona Republican Senator Jeff Flake. This follows accusations from Christine Blasey Ford that Kavanaugh and a friend forced themselves on her while in high school. White House Deputy Press Secretary Raj Shah.
We believe firmly and confidently in Judge Kavanaugh's denials. They're backed up by 300 other individuals under penalty of felony who were said to be at that event. His contemporaneous calendars don't put him at such an event.
Actually, some of the witnesses say they don't remember the party where Dr. Ford says she was attacked, but they don't dispute that it happened. An emotional tribute to the two Brookhaven
Live from the Center Right Radio Studios in Tempe, Arizona, the Chips and Salsa Show. Conservative conversation, picoso, not mocoso, with Don Jorge Ortiz and Alicia Lara. George. It is time now for the Chips and Salsa Show, another edition. Oh my goodness. It's Saturday, September 29th. I'm still hearing the music in my ear, but hopefully you're not. You can just hear my voice. Behind the scenes, taking care of us technically, is our incredible intern, Armin. Thank you, Armin, for everything. And this is a very exciting day. We have a lot to talk about politically, as you can guess. But I want to let you know what's in store for us. Noticeably absent from the chair next to me is my buddy, Don Jorge. He had to work today, unfortunately, but he will be back. I'm thinking, I don't know, man. He keeps saying he's going to come back, maybe in a couple of weeks. But in his place, not to worry, because we have another Don Juan, or also known as Johnny Melton, here filling in as a guest host.
Hi, Lauren. Good to be back.
Who now? What is my name?
I'm sorry?
Lauren?
Did I mispronounce Lara?
I think you said Laura.
Oh, no.
And that's okay. People always do that. They call me Laura. Because it's Alice Lara. Yeah. They always call me Laura. That's why I always pronounce it in Spanish, Lara. I still do it.
Still do it. Yeah.
You're forgiven. It's because he's getting back at me. Because during the promo I called him Juanito. That's why. Yeah. I think Juanito's such a cool name, don't you? Sid de la Fuente, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And Sid is coming back today. We're having him back. He is the founder of CALO, which is Conservative American Latino Organization. Thank you so much for coming. And we have a lot to talk about as well.
Yes, we do.
I want to ask though, does anybody have birthdays to announce or anything like that? Any birthdays, anniversaries, special events?
I got nothing until October. October's chock full of meaningful days, but right now.
All right. And now October starts Monday, so if there's something this week, feel free to jump in. I do have my sister-in-law, Alicia McPherson, her birthday is going to be on the 5th, so I want to wish her a very happy birthday because I don't want to forget. And, you know, I don't think, my brother has a birthday on the 3rd, my oldest brother, Alex Alejandro. And that's, I mean, we got a lot, in our family, we have a lot of October stuff going on.
Yeah.
So you'll be hearing all about that. So no problem there. Also want to give credit to Mr. Julian Allison, who's out there kind of watching things technically as well. And all you chipsters, thank you for tuning in, and we really appreciate when you get on Facebook and tell us what's going on, you know, in case we have any technical issues, kind of or, watching Johnny's wonderful hairs out of place or something. And all you chipsters, thank you for tuning in.
I immediately tell
me.
them.
When you get on Facebook and tell us what's going on. My lipstick's on cookie. Technical issues. So just, you know, thank you very much for keeping us. And all you chipsters, thank you for tuning in.
I immediately tell them.
Coming up, and it's my lipstick's on cookie. Technical issues. So thank you very much for keeping us. And all you chipsters, thank you for tuning in.
I immediately tell them.
And it's my lipstick's on cookie. Technical issues. So thank you very much for keeping us. And all you chipsters, thank you for Jeff Point.
I immediately tell them.
And it's my lipstick's on cookie. Technical issues. So thank you very much for keeping us. And all you chipsters, thank you for Jeff Point.
I immediately tell them.
And it's my lipstick's. And then we're also going to try technical issues. So thank you very much for College Republicans United. That's where we got our meme from. They are going to start something new we're going to try out. Kind of like a Prather Point. It's going to be their own little minute or two on commentary. Remember Josh, who was here last week? Yeah. Josh was got the big radio voice. He's going to be doing that today. And did they give it a name, Armin? What are they calling themselves?
Minute.
The Millennial Minute. All right.
Man.
The Millennial Minute. Good deal.
Good one.
It's like I had a great time when they came in. And in fact, I'll be, they've asked me to come speak with them. And so, but the only day that that our schedules matched, where I could actually come in and speak to the group, is November. So Wednesday, November 7th, the day after the midterm elections. So I will be going in there and addressing a crowd. Either we'll be, drowning in our tears or celebrating. I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'll have to be there giving the breakdown of the election. So
but you know what?
What a great day to pick.
That's a good time for you to be on. You know what? It really is. Okay, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it on air, and I remind you guys listening or watching at home. If you go to our Facebook page, you already put it on the Chips and Salsa page. Very nice. You can share the show. So if maybe you have a group page or something, we love if you spread the word. Because the more views we get, the better for us.
Most definitely, we put it on the Kahlo page, on the web page.
Yeah, and we partner with Kahlo because the reason for this show primarily is we are Latino Americans, American Latinos. And guess what? We're Republicans, because not just because you are of the Hispanic persuasion are you automatically a Democrat. Oh. And we exist. And that was very evident today. We were at the Arizona Federation of Republican Women. They had their big state meeting.
Where was that?
We missed you. It was at the Wigwam.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mike Broomhead came out, talked. He's a local talk show host here from KFYI. And we had a little booth out there. And how did you like that, Sid?
I loved it. I got to meet a lot of wonderful women out there, Republican women, that were great. We shared a lot of stories. Mm-hmm. It was like a kind of a bonding, really. It was great. It gave out a lot of information. They were very supportive of what we're doing. So it was, overall, wonderful experience.
What was on their minds? What were you guys talking about there?
We were mad at Jeff Flake.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. We'll get into that a little later.
That's a good teaser. All right.
And you got to meet Cindy Casaus.
Cindy, yes.
Mm-hmm. And she's Latina. Also.
Yes. Wonderful lady.
So more proof that we're there too.
We're there.
Women,
it's not shocking.
Latinas.
It's not shocking, okay?
Don't be shocked. At it. But it was really good. We had some good speakers. We had some good workshops. And speaking of Republican women, our club, Central Republican Women of Phoenix, and I'm going to invite all Republicans to this if you live in the area. Even if you don't live in the area, it's worth it to come and be with us. But it's a political information night. Thursday, October 4th, we meet at Enchiladas. And that's at 7330 North Dreamy Draw in Phoenix. At 5:30 is going to be our little meet and greet. You know what? We're actually starting earlier. We're going to start about 5:15 for our meet and greet. And then at 5:45 is the program, because what we're trying to do is wrap up a little early, because at 7 o'clock there's going to be a live streamed debate. It might be actually more of a forum, a mayoral one.
Oh,
So
okay.
Moses Sanchez
Yes,
and the other
great.
two candidates are going to be on, who are Democrats, so I don't even have to mention their name.
That just reminds me when you say Moses Sanchez. We're co-hosting with the GOP October 8th at the GOP office from 5:30 to 8, I believe it is 5:30 to 8, and we'll be having a phone bank for him.
Yeah,
we invite
Monica
all to
Yellen's
come.
doing that, right?
Yeah, Monica Yellen's doing that. We teamed up, and we will have that for Moses. Come out, bring your phones, bring your chargers, or just come and bring your support.
Yeah,
for
they'll
Moses.
set you up with a tablet, or bring your tablets if you can.
Okay.
So if you want to come out Thursday, October 4th, what you can do, it's $20 and you get a lot of hearty, good appetizers. We have our own little special room out there, and we're going to live stream the debate. So we're going to have a big screen and everything. And you can just call, actually email Jan, and that's reservations@crwop.org, reservations@crwop.org, and let her know that you're coming. And we're also having a tribute to our Gentlemen's Auxiliary. You guys aren't members yet, huh? I need to reel you in. Yeah.
That would imply that Sid and I are gentlemen.
You're
Yeah.
so. Well, we are presuming a lot. All the gentlemen, and maybe our incredible intern will even come too. Yeah. So we're doing that, and then what we're going to do is talk about all the props. And we have Arizona Enterprise is going to talk.
Free Enterprise.
I'm sorry, Arizona Free Enterprise. Thank you for correcting
Those
me.
my people. There you go.
Yeah, and they're going to provide information on all the propositions.
Great.
So come, eat with us, discuss the props, tribute to the guys, and then 7 o'clock, we're going to kind of finish around that time so we can live stream the debate. Bring your Moses Sanchez.
Who's gonna be? Is that debate with Kate Gallego and
Danny
the
Valenzuela.
wife butchered her name, and Daniel Valenzuela? They're going to be there. I mean,
I believe they're
Yeah.
going to be, the Arizona Republic is going to do that. That's our
okay.
newspaper.
Okay.
For those of you that are watching from out of state and out of town. So it should be pretty good, yeah. So I hope you can make it, and just come. If you can't come until that's happening, that's fine. Show up. It's all good. But we'd love if you came a little bit early, because we're expecting, at this time of year, a lot of candidates come, so you can meet the candidates. If you guys want to show up, if you and Jessica want to show up too,
Definitely.
then you can, meet people. We have a really good group. Really good group. And we're recruiting also, so just warning, if you're a woman and you come and you're not a member of a Republican Women's Club, I will recruit you. I will ask you to join. I won't make you join, but I'm pretty persuasive, huh, guys?
You got me to come on the show.
That's right. And I appreciate it. You do a great job, and we love having you on. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. We have the whole enchiladas coming up, and also we have the coquetazos. So how are we doing on time? Oh, we're good on time? What do you think, Army? We have a minute or so? Okay. So we're going to tease, because the first break we are going to play The Crew. That's College Republicans United. We're going to try that out, and we'll be able to hear it, right? And one thing that we learned, Armin told us, so during the breaks, you're not going to be able to hear us. So if you're looking for me to do a commercial or something, I can't do it because you won't hear me. Sorry about that. But you will be hearing the regular commercials that will come on. So after that, after we hear Crew, we're going to come back. We got to talk Kavanaugh. We got to talk about Lindsey Graham, man.
Oh, yes.
Woo, yeah. And the latest update, Jeff Flake. What's going on with that? I have a conspiracy theory we might talk about, which you guys haven't thought of. I kind of put it together myself. I used to never be a conspiracy theorist. I thought those people were nuts. But as I get older, I think I'm turning into one. I think that I'm turning into one.
Well,
And then-
what's life without whimsy, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And then, so we got a few seconds. Anything you guys want to share before we go to the Crew?
No, let's hear the Millennial Minute.
Yep.
Ready for the
Minute.
Millennial
I'm
Minute?
looking forward to that.
I think it's going to be good, and I think we're going to be having it every week.
Good.
They've decided to do it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So let's see. Are we ready, Arnie? Shall we just go for it? All right.
There it is.
There it is.
Yo, I'm Josh Bernard, Vice President of the College Republicans United, and this is a Millennial Minute. As my time at college winds down, me and my other millennial colleagues in school, one of the biggest things we have to prepare for and can't wait to see is the good old student debt bill that we get at the end of our time here at school. Just to get a piece of paper, you're going to get slapped with a nice chunk of change that you have to pay back. But one of the things about that is a lot of people in my generation tend to use that as a major political factor into who are they going to vote for in upcoming political elections. And it's primarily one reason why a certain senator from Vermont somehow gets his huge supporting base from. And, well, it doesn't surprise me. But one of the realistic things about, the world is, especially when we look at socialism, is nothing's always free. And just like that, there's other ways around trying to fix the educational and student debt crisis that this country is inevitably going to face in the future. I think one of the biggest changes we can make concerning that is possibly, one, stop guaranteeing so many student loans out there. I would say one of the biggest things is cut, especially in public schools, is to cut the university bureaucracy that has expanded from the increase of school tuitions. A lot of it has gone to programs that I would argue doesn't really benefit the student much. I would say, during my time in school, I think a lot of classes that I've been in that some were required that included just sitting down and being lectured about social justice issues, how America was always bad, and recently for the past 2 years about nothing but rants about how bad the president is and how awful he is and how Republicans are evil for that. But I digress. I think one of the main solutions for the GOP to look out for in the future is finding a solution on how to deal with this upcoming crisis. For that. But I digress. I think just one of the pointed out main solutions for the of students GOP to look out for in the future is finding a solution on how to deal with this upcoming crisis. This number is only going to increase, and I think it's going to be a major factor in upcoming elections in the future. So I think it'd be in our best interest to start formulating more of a plan and an answer to solve this upcoming crisis than let the Dems handle it. But you heard it here first. This is Josh Bernard signing out. Have a good one.
And that was the Millennial Minute. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear it, but I hope that you could. And I know that it was good because these guys, these are sharp young men and women with this group. And so please support them. And they have meetings every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, yeah.
They've got a page, so you can go to Facebook and find them, right? Yep. College Republicans United. And Johnny's going to be a speaker there next month. Maybe we can make that out there. So
November.
Make fun of you in November. Yeah, right. Do that. But we'll listen to it like on the next commercial. And it's just life has been so busy. That's how hectic things have been. So I really appreciate, Armin, the fact that you put that together and were able to play it. So how about we talk some politics, guys? What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, now, Sid, you and I were at AZFRW when the news broke of our Senator Flake kind of bucking the hearings there, and I can tell you is most of the women there were very upset. Unless you've been sitting under a rock, basically, and correct me if I have any of this wrong, but what Mr. Flake said is he really could not vote for Judge Kavanaugh unless they were given a week to do an FBI investigation. That's basically what was asked, or you elaborate for me, Johnny.
Let me just clarify. So,
Thanks.
To be fair, so first of all, this was referring to yesterday this was the the judicial committee. This is the 21-member committee. Yes. The motion was to advance Judge Kavanaugh out of committee to the Senate floor. So Jeff Flake did vote aye. It was 11-10. It was a straight party line vote. Mm-hmm. But before he cast his vote, he did imply that the best course would be to delay the full Senate vote to give time for an FBI probe into the matter. Now, we'll go back. So that's the gist of it. It's implied as a condition to his yes vote on the Senate floor.
And before you get the rest of it, were there a couple of other Republicans too that felt the same way that he did, or was he?
Well,
the only
surely,
one
yeah.
that voiced it?
After that announcement, Senator Collins, Senator Murkowski, even Democrat Senator Joe Manchin also kind of signaled their approval to this move. So.
But he kind of led the
But he
charge.
did. But he cast that out. He threw that out there. Yeah, Jeff Flake.
He cast that out.
Now, I want to tell you also at the women's, because everybody was kind of like, "Oh, come on, we want the vote, right?" But Helen Purcell, she got up there and she made a point. She made a relevant point. She said, "I know you guys are going to get mad at me for this, but she said my point is, it's probably a good idea that we're going to do this because otherwise it will be hanging over our heads by the Democrats." And that was kind of her point. But you said you also had a defense, possibly.
Yeah, I can offer that there. So
Johnny Milton, Juanito.
So here we go.
Excuse me, Don Juan.
okay, Facebook. Here we go. So I think it's worth. Let me offer the following concession. Unless you believe the FBI investigation, unless one can believe that the FBI investigation can resolve the matter, that is, it can either prove or disprove Professor Ford's allegations. Unless you believe that, then the very request of an FBI investigation into this matter is of bad faith, right? Okay. That's most people understand that. Whether you wear a red shirt or a blue shirt, it's widely understood that the FBI investigation request is a tactical one. It's a political calculus. It's not a device for justice for Professor Ford. That is implicit. That was expressed implicitly by the Senate Democrats, explicitly by Senator Herrano, and Senator.
Many of them asked him specifically, "Would you call for an
right?"
FBI?
And so
right.
You're very so. I recognize that this is a bad faith question, right? Unless you really believe that this is going to change, whether the FBI investigation is 5 hours or 5 days, I think a reasonable person can assume that nothing's going to change. We're not going to learn anything new. It's very unlikely that we're going to prove or disprove.
Okay, here's my question. You just answered right there.
Okay. So
why even do it?
Very good question. Okay, so
why waste taxpayers more taxpayers' money to do this?
That's a very good question. And so because a charitable when Jeff Flake put that out there, put this condition, this request, the criticism from the right, and part of it's been ugly. The social media mob, the nonsense from reporting from town hall, that I'll address that later. But a charitable argument from the right has been, why, if you do this, we are rewarding bad behavior, right? That we are by rewarding the histrionics from the left, we are by caving to that, we are now signaling to the American public we are going to use the FBI to resolve a political question. And that's fair.
And relinquishing some control of the situation.
I don't think so. I think the opposite. Because what we need to understand is there's a flip side to that argument. Okay, another way to look at it is that Jeff Flake is calling their bluff. You just said earlier that and implied that the centerpiece of the Democrats' opposition at the Senate Judiciary Committee was the FBI investigation. That was the central thesis. Ignore all the nonsense of the yearbook and the shenanigans of the drinking of kids at 16, 17 years old. The principal opposition, the centerpiece was, why wasn't there an FBI investigation? Well, now there's going to be one. It won't be good enough for those who have made up their minds, but there will be one. So at a minimum, it provides.
Bluff. However,
it calls
there are
out
6 FBI investigations he's had before in his whole life. And
so it will cover nothing new.
Thorough.
That's true. Everybody here understands that it's very unlikely that the FBI probe, whether it's 5 days, 5 minutes, or 5 hours, will not change. We won't learn anything new.
So, why is it that if it won't change nothing new, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 minutes, whatever the case, 5 months, 5 years, kind of like a Russian probe, wasting taxpayers' money to do this.
Because it might provide the cover needed, the political cover for the Joe Manchins, the Collins, the Murkowskis, and even Donnelly in Indiana, his career.
I hope that you are right. I fear that they're going to come back and say, well, you know, it wasn't done right.
They will.
We need another one.
They will.
Yeah.
They will move the goalpost.
We need another one.
They will move the goalpost. That is generally understood.
Because it's you know, they want to push this for election time.
Yes.
And actually, they've already pushed it. When does early balloting start? Like
October 10th.
10th. You know, I
In
think
Arizona. Yeah.
it's so politically motivated. But I mean, we're done with it.
Yes.
There's nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. So
Right.
we've got to wait.
And I would argue that Jeff Flake bought us a couple votes. I think I think his compromise gave us enough to get Kavanaugh across the finish
Okay,
line.
here's a question for you. Do you think it bought us any, by doing this, do you think it will buy us any Democrat votes?
One or two. Joe Manchin. You know, Donnelly might have to rethink his position. I don't know. I'm not feeling enough with Indiana politics to know how much pressure he's going to be on once this FBI investigation wraps up. We don't know. So, but it's possible.
I don't really. It's hard to say because you have 6 investigations already, FBI investigation. We know for a fact. I believe what was it? This was just holding and waiting for a perfect timing to come up.
See, Sid,
Because why?
the problem is you're trying to approach us as a rational human being.
That's
the problem.
That's the problem because we're too.
Logical.
See, that's the
Shame
problem
on you.
with our politics nowadays.
You
Because
rational
we're too
Republicans.
rational. People are too rational, and government and politicians think, no, you're too rational. We have to think for you, and because you're too rational and you're too looking things at a rational point, not rational with common sense.
Yes.
It can happen.
But again, this is a political question. It's not.
It's
has
a power
nothing-
question.
Yes, it has nothing to do.
It's nothing to do with politics. It's to do with power. How do I maintain my power? How do I maintain my seat? How do I maintain being in the position that I am?
And those are all political calculations, and that's why you.
So let me do the strategy of football.
Yes.
Basically,
That's-
let me punt the football, and hopefully my defense can hold on to it and hold the line of the offense, and I'll still win the game.
Politics is a game of inches, not.
Well, I will say that my whole enchilada nominee for this week is Senator Lindsey Graham because
Absolutely.
he got his stones back, man. That's a Lindsey Graham that I knew from a long time ago. And he got on there and he pulled no punches. He just laid it on the line. And it was awesome to see him up there.
As it was.
I mean, I think the Senate Democrats have to look back and say Lindsey Graham is a man who is he's a guy who's not. He likes to go. He's willing to go across the aisle to work with them, right?
Yeah, and he said, my
And
friends. He referenced that.
So the Senate Democrats have got to be thinking now that we have lost. I mean, Lindsey Graham excoriated them. That's where we're at. I mean, I'm glad John McCain's not alive to see this because the fact that we're at a point where Lindsey Graham is yelling at you, you have fouled up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we're. That's where we're.
A lot of people were saying that that's why he was able to do it is because our dear Senator McCain is no longer with us.
No,
That's kind of an interesting point.
I just think that the Senate Democrats were acting so irresponsibly and so in such poor and bad faith. I think Lindsey Graham had no choice. But
Well, what's new with the Democrats? What's new with
What's
that?
new with the behavior?
What's new with the behavior?
I think this is a new low. I think
No,
that Kavanaugh is clearly.
It's pretty low, and
I think if you go back to Clarence Thomas, didn't they do that with Clarence Thomas?
but they didn't even go this far.
They didn't go this far, but
Okay,
did they
so
do
we
that
got
with Clarence
we got to
Thomas?
wrap this up, and then not even to mention Senator Feinstein, who didn't you? Who leaked it? Well, yeah, we did. No, we didn't.
no,
Went
we
back
didn't.
and
Yes,
forth
we
on the
did. No,
microphone. Well, yeah. I thought. I'm sorry. That's Cocatazo.
Yeah.
That's Cocatazo. worthy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's up there. It's that's Cocatazo. How do I pronounce it?
Cocatazo. Cocatazo. We'll have lessons during the break. Are we going to do the Prather Point now? Okay, no? Okay, we're going to the Prather Point. We'll be back. Alice Slada, Johnny Melton, Sid de la Fuente with more of the Chips and Salsa Show. Don't go away, chipsters. We got more. Okay, so I'm hearing this, so hopefully we can hear the Prather Point.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Okay,
is that
okay.
coming up? Okay. Cocatazos.
And trying to keep our little kids from realizing that mommy and daddy haven't eaten in a while.
Roger, from California. I'm grateful we could afford our son's surgery. I'm nervous that now we can't really afford food.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Keisha from South Carolina. I've been skipping meals so my 2 kids can eat, but filling up on water doesn't really work.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Turn off the fake news and turn on Center Right Radio. Online now at centerright.live.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14,
41, 31, 13.
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted.
I
realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
And it's a beautiful day here at the Search Engine and Digital Marketing Race in beautiful Tempe, Arizona. The horses lining up at the gate now, waiting for the bell. And they're off. It's just a two-way race today between your business brand and your relentless competition. Oh, but wait a minute. You've just hired Warhorse Agency for your digital marketing and are quickly taking the lead in your market. Well, hang on to your seat, though. Your competition started their own Google AdWords pay-per-click campaign and are trying to catch up to you now. Good for you, though. They have no idea what they're doing. But don't worry yet. Your digital marketing jockey at Warhorse Agency tirelessly regains the lead with a great viral Facebook ad as well as your own Google SEO and pay-per-click campaign ran by a Warhorse, true leading generating professional. Holy smokes, your business just got a major lead. You're on the first page of Google now. And as they approach the finish line, your business wins. Thanks, Warhorse Agency, for another smashing victory. Contact us today for your free digital marketing evaluation. Visit us at www.gowarhorse.com today.
You're listening to America's favorite political discussion on Center Right Radio.
And we are back with the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara. We're here every week at 4 p.m. on Center Right Radio. We got some changes coming up. We'll keep you posted on all that. George is not here today. Don Jorge is working, but I'm sure he's watching if he can. He's telling us what we're doing wrong. You know, I'll be getting a text soon if we screw something up. So that's okay. It's cool. And you, as Chipsters, this is your show. The Chips and Salsa Show is here because of you. So feel free to weigh in. Bad stuff, good stuff. But in his place, we have the Republican activist, Johnny Milton. Juanito, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Don Juan.
I had that coming.
Milton. Thank you for being here. You always do
a
great job.
Thank you, Alice.
And we appreciate your support. You're welcome anytime. Okay. And we have our guest is Sid De La Fuente with Carlo.
Hello.
You know what? Give a commercial for Carlo. You need to
Yeah,
tell people
go
that
ahead.
this may be the first time they even heard about this organization.
Okay, CALO is is short for Conservative American Latino Organization. What the organization is all about is educating and not American Latinos, but educating to the point where you Latinos really don't understand that, some of them don't understand that they have more in common with the Republicans than they do with liberals. They some understand that being a former liberal,
Were you really super liberal? Well, you're for California.
So what does that tell you? Had to get out of there.
You were scared.
And I'm the rhino? Really?
So it's just that to go back and say that, really educate people, not only American Latinos, but to educate a lot of the people. I've gone to classes with the Center for Self-Government. And the classes that they have for Center Self-Government are really powerful and really interesting. See, hopefully I don't mess it up for them. But what it is, it opens the eyes of people to understand that true power, people think that true power is in government. What is not. True power is within the people. And the Center for Self-Government teaches that, shows that, explains that.
That's a Center for Self-Governance, right?
Yes.
Who heads that?
You would ask me
I
that.
put you right on the spot. It's because I should know myself.
Yeah.
That's where you were this morning, right?
That's where I was this morning. And great, and I'm going to screw this up again. They're putting on a program with Leviticus, the gentleman that was with the Bundys.
Oh.
And
Lavoy Finicum.
Lavoy Finicum, yes. Thank you.
Leviticus, you're so biblical. Okay.
Yeah. And a program together with them. And great. If you can go see their presentation, they're doing like a biography. If you can go and be a part of it, and it comes up into your area, I advise you go.
Were they there today, or they're going to do one?
They were there. They were there. His wife was there.
Wow.
Very heartwarming, very touching.
Did they video that by any
Yes.
chance? Where can we find it?
No, they didn't. They will be giving that out, I believe, but right now it's just within a group.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very, how can I say, very eye-opening. Very eye-opening. Much respect for the man. Much respect for the person. It was touching to the point that he had a voice, and what he was trying to do and still doing, his wife is still doing. And that's the reason for Carlo.
We should have tried to have
it
him come in today.
It is to educate people to understand, especially within the Latino community, that they themselves, sometimes our voice is getting lost. Our voice is getting, a lot of Latinos, American Latinos, their voice are getting lost because it's getting lost within the drowning of immigration.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting lost within immigrants.
We're just swept with like one issue. Like
yes,
that's all
and that's
care
all
about.
there
When
is.
actually Latinos, that's not the number
If
one issue.
If you read our mission statement has that we're out to show that Latinos do care about a wall, do care that we don't like a welfare state. Okay, we're not out for handouts. And I think you see it a lot of, even on the Democrat side, they say, the liberals say the Latino work and they take care of things that no other people want. True. Yes, that is true. But at the same point, okay, they got to understand that their work as an individual has power too. And they have the power as Americans.
I have
American
a question.
Latinos. Yes.
During the 2016 election, I was at the polls and I was watching voters come in, and what struck me was, now I'm in Congressional District 8 at West Valley. That's pretty red, right? Hispanic voters were breaking towards the Republican ticket more often than not, and I was struck by that, and that was happening all over precincts. Many precincts across the West Valley, and when I was watching this happen, I was trying to figure out, wow, if this happens, Hillary's in trouble, right? I felt like, wow, if this is happening in Florida, she's toast. At the end of the day, Trump got 1/3 Hispanic vote.
Correct.
Is that right? About 1/3.
About 1/3.
Okay. What are your thoughts moving forward? Is that trend, or is that a, I guess what I'm trying to say is that's a big number, more than I think anybody thought we get. Is that number going to go up? Is that an anomaly? What is the trend line going back toward? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a pattern here? I mean,
is there a pattern? There's a pattern that Carlo is trying to establish, a pattern of that pattern to go up.
Okay.
And that pattern to be to understand that they're Latinos, whether Latino, Hispanic, Cuban, El Salvador, however you want to put us in a category,
right.
That we do as Americans first, that we have a voice, and that trend should be going up, If you see the liberals say, oh, and a lot of them say the Latino voice is going to be the next generation or the next coming up group.
It will
be. Okay.
Demographically
So
true.
if that's a coming up group, Carlo, the reason I established Carlo is so that the American Hispanic can understand that the Republican Party is more within there. We do believe in faith.
Yeah.
We have lots of faith. We're all Catholics. We don't believe in abortions. We don't believe in abortion. Our faith is so strong that abortion to us, but yet I'm going to vote liberal, and the liberal does. They don't like God. They didn't even have God in their what do they have?
They
their
wanted to take it.
Their platform.
They wanted to take it off their platform.
They want to take it off their platform. Why do they want to take it off their platform?
And they almost did. They were almost successful.
They believe in abortions. So why is that? Why is it that they hardworking Hispanics, hardworking Latinos? When I talk to them, they say, "Well, Trump," because they get a lot of this news, this liberal news. And they hate Trump. First, you tell them you're a Republican, then they look at you like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And you tell them, and it's like you just scared them.
Yeah.
Okay. But they don't understand just a simple concept. Let's talk tax breaks. Like I talked with two young a gentleman and a young lady. I said, "Do you have anybody working?" I said, simple concept. I'm going to tell you, if you don't like Trump, I'm going to show you just a little simple concept why you may like him.
Yeah.
I said, little simple concept. I said, who works in your family? Well, my dad. And it's a typical Hispanic family.
Everybody's
working. Everybody who's of age is working.
Right.
I said, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to go back. I said, do you know they got a pay raise? I said, do you know they got a pay raise? No, they didn't. They didn't get no pay raise. They haven't got a pay raise in I don't know how many years. Their employer doesn't give them no pay raise. Their employer is not going to give them nothing. Oh, okay. Why? Because he's too rich. He keeps the money and he's hogging it. Oh, okay. Well, do you know they got a pay raise? Some sort? No. I said, well, when you go back, go tell them to look at your paycheck. Compare it to 2 years back, maybe a couple of years back, maybe a couple of months back, and see if it ain't no different. They said, okay, I'm going to do that. And if it's not, then I have your card. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you and then tell you that it's not true what you're telling me. So I haven't got a call yet.
Can I ask one more question? So I'm painting with a broad brush here. So if there's any Democrats listening, I'm sorry, but here we go. To the one Democrat listening,
apologize to them.
Democrat in largely, broad brush, they are hostile to working class Americans, right? Hostile to people of faith, and so how as Latinos what is the immigration debate so powerful that it kind of sets those aside? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just in your average Latino community, the voters there who are Democrats. Is it immigration? Is that the thing that just forget the Democrats' attack on middle class, forget all that. This is so much more important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you saying do the Democrats? Is it much more important for the Latinos?
Right. So
as the immigration.
In other words, is the immigration debate that powerful that it's sucking up all the? So if you're talking to Hispanic voters in your community, if they are Democrats, is it because the immigration debate is so powerful? It's just sucking out everything else.
That's really not on the with a lot of them. It's not really that I personally have talked to. Yeah. It's not really something that is on the top. I guess you could say maybe top 5 or top of the list.
Okay.
What it is, being myself, being a former liberal, I hate.
It's okay.
You can admit it.
You're very educated because of that.
Very, because you know.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
As long as you don't go back.
Yes,
there you go. I don't plan to. You see, and it starts with and I'll tell you how I got to this. Reason is my father always taught me there's 2 sides to every story. Okay. Now I really believe it. Being a Republican, I really believe it now. There is 2 sides. There's only the liberals give to the Hispanic family and to Hispanics hope that they really care for them.
Sure.
That they're really giving them something. That they're really, in reality, they don't see that they're giving them. There's a price to pay for me giving you. Okay.
Okay.
There's a price to pay for me giving you. It's no different. It's no different than we have. No different than other generations, other that you want to put other races. Let's talk other races. There's no different when it starts getting to a point where you're dependent now on government to give you. Okay. That's what it's becoming. You talking about first, second, third generation of immigrants that came here from that are Latinos. They understand hard work. They understand that hard work is going to get them. That's why they came here to America, to live the American dream.
Right.
They know, because first generation, my father, let's say first generation, when he came, and I was one to say, hey, take my Mexican flag and go all over the place and say, this is my flag, this is my flag, this is my flag. Even though I was born, raised here in America. Okay. My father came to me and said, hey, you know what, son? That's not your flag. That's my flag. I was born and raised over there. It's still kind of my flag. But that's not your flag. Yeah. Your flag is the American flag. So whatever you do, do it for that American flag. Okay, so when it came time for me to, since I was 17, when it came time for me since I was 17 to go into the Marine Corps, they had a sign. One thing my father said.
He really taught you right, man. Yeah. He really did.
He said, son, is this what you want to do? I said, yeah. He said, great. I told you, always for your flag. Sign away. Here you go. And a lot of veterans, not including myself, probably feel the same way. When you talk about our flag, our nation, somebody say, what the heck? Oh, what? Yeah, that veteran or whatever. No. That veteran truly has a heart. That veteran truly has something for this nation. And this American Latino the same way. They understand America. They understand that this is a country that is a dream. The American dream. And the American dream for all to see. And I believe that is our president today. That is what he is trying to do, but running against forces, I could say, of liberalism that are trying to prevent that. To be the beacon of light for all to see. Even our countries, even other countries. To be a beacon of light for all to see. And sometimes you got to understand, this man was a very powerful person even before his presidency. Even before his presidency, he didn't need to run. He didn't need to run whatsoever. But he ran for what? And he says, for the people. To turn back, even in his address, he said, for his people.
So well said. And what I would like to do is take like those last 5 minutes and turn it into a GOP commercial for Latinos. You know?
Monica Yellen right now is cropping this video. Right? I can imagine her.
It's perfection. Great job. Now we have to go away for a couple minutes of this perfection, but we will be back with our last segment of the Chips and Salsa Show. And I'm Alice Lara here with fill-in guest host Johnny Milton and Sid De La Fuente.
Thanks, Sid.
Thanks
for talking about that.
Very well done. Wow. So don't go away, because we've got more to guac on with here in the Molcajete on the Chips and Salsa Show on Center Right Radio.
Hey everybody, Jeff Prather here.